We're good. All right. So, hey guys, I'm Ashley. I don't know if you all know me, but I've been a coach for like a year and a few. I think it's been since July that I became a coach of last year. And I think my favorite part of my coaching journey, weight loss journey, whatever you call it, is the personal development side of it. Like, yeah, of course, losing weight and feeling better and all of that is good. I feel like my biggest transformation is in personal development and like myself, inner self, that kind of stuff. Um, and so I am going to talk to you about, I went on Sunday this weekend to a Gabby Bernstein event at a local church. She came, talked, and she said that Arizona was her best place, and she doesn't always say that. And it was actually really, really cool. So I got there, and me and Ashley were supposed to go, and I was nervous going by myself, and I was like, no, like I paid for the ticket. I'm going. I'm gonna go. So I went and I was like running, lashing and this and that. And I'm just, oh my God, luckily it wasn't far from my house. So I got there and it was like already pretty packed and everyone had like already came in and, well, not everyone, it's in like a church. And so there's all these different rows. And so I sat like in the very back row where like you could get up and walk around and stuff. And I'm like, okay, we'll see, how this goes. And he's like, all right, so she's going to come on and talk and we'll do the book signing and this and that. And so I thought like, we're going to talk for like 20 or 30 minutes. And then, we'll go into the book signing. And it was from what, 2 to 4 or something like that. She talked the entire time. Like, it was so awesome. Like, I was blown away. And it was so cool sitting in the back of the room because there was like the hippies, the old ladies, the random few guys. There was a lot of like the church because it was a big event that they put on. But it was such a cool like collection of people that it was like really kind of like it was to like watch everyone take it in and how different people what she was saying and like it was just a really cool experience to kind of put things in perspective that everyone like there was even like some teenagers there and like yeah I get like they probably drug their kids or whatever but like everyone enjoyed it and it was really cool being around all these like positive people that had really cool stories but it just kind of was a moment to, like soak it all in and put it all in perspective and so that was super awesome but I didn't really put together like an actual what I'm going to say. I'm just going to go on what I wrote down while she was talking and kind of reflect back on it because I've been looking over it all day. I'm like, fine, we'll talk about that. So, to the book, The Universe Has Your Back, her 3 things that she said were like, you must do through every day. And that is I'm like shaking, you guys. I'm so nervous right now. But the 3 things that you should be doing every day is be honest, be vulnerable, and be authentic. And right away, that's what we're supposed to do all the time. Like, that's what we coaches are told to be. Like, don't be fake, don't be someone else, be you, and that's what you're selling. So, and then the other thing was she talked a lot about like your problems and the things that always pop in your life that you like relationships. Like if you always go into the same relationship that sucks and you have like an asshole boyfriend or it's just not right and it's all the same problems and that's like the universe's way of telling you that something's not right and you need to fix something. And so when it keeps happening to you over and over and over, That's like a, hey, dumb, hey, girl, like, you're not doing something that you should be doing, or something's just not there. So you have to show up for what, and you have to every day work on those things. And when a problem keeps coming up, but anyways, that's like the universe telling you to look close what's going on. And that you can look at these problems is asking yourself, my resistance is what? What are you fighting yourself on? What are you having these problems? Like, what is it? Write it down. Or even if like you always have any problems, or your same problem with your kids. I mean, it can be related to anything. My resistance is, write those things down and focus on that. Focus on those issues. And then once you start working on those things, you think to yourself, like, when you think that you've surrendered enough, surrender some more. And she also talked about doing like a surrender prayer. And don't get me wrong, like, I am not a religious person. I go to church maybe once or twice a year, if that. So I feel like this talks to me more because it's not so God. I'm not anti any of that, but it's kind of, it doesn't push it on you as much. And I kind of say it's prayer, but it's just things that you say to yourself every day, just like affirmations. It's the same thing. So when you think you've surrendered, some more. And then another thing that I really liked was to focus on what is thriving in your life. Like, we get so caught up in the negative and what everyone is doing, and we think that we're not enough, or we suck, or we're not outgoing, whatever it is. Stop. Like, stop worrying about that and focus on, are you healthy? Do you have a house over your head? Do you have a car to get you to work? Do you have food in your fridge? Like, what are the things that you are, what do you have? You have so much. Like, we aren't living on the street. We're not homeless. We're not, like, we have a lot. We have a lot to be grateful for, and focus on that, basically. Focus on your wellness, not your illness. Focus on love, compassion, and not anger. That's where I need to work on right there. That is my thing, is letting go of anger and just focus on the good, basically. And also, when you're struggling, don't push people out. Like, ask for help. Go to someone. Go, like, even when it comes to your kids or your busy work, like, don't take on the world and expect to do everything 100%. Like take on the things that you are good at and that are your strengths, and in the places that you need extra help, like, ask. Don't just not and think, oh, I have to do this. It has to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can ask for help, and it's okay. Like, it's okay to ask for help. Don't be too proud. That is big. I'm always the one that's like, I can do it. I got it. I'll put this away. That blah blah blah. Like, how when you guys have parties and you rush at home last minute and you clean last minute because you put it off, and then you're like, no, I can do it, and you're stressed out. Do that to yourself. Like, give yourself grace. So nervous. I feel like I'm talking really fast. Let's see. What else? So, going back to the surrendering that I was talking about, she talked about how surrendering isn't just a one-time thing. It happens daily. And that goes back do like affirmations. You have to continue to tell yourself every day that it's okay to not do this. It's okay that you aren't best, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's okay. And you have to constantly tell yourself that every day. And the more you tell yourself, then, the easier it's going to be for you to not stress out about it, to release it and let it go and be done. Self-love is a progressive journey. That's so, so, so true. Like, we all do it. We all have ups and downs. Like, when we're like really on, we're on. But when we're really off, fuck, it sucks. So it's a journey. We have those ups and downs for a reason. Fear keeps us stuck in the ends. You have to work through trauma and problems over and over and over. And when you think that you've worked through them, do it again. What else? There are far more people in need of light. You have to show up and provide your light. So, like, she was talking about how, yeah, you might be scared, like, she it as like a comparison type thing, like, oh, I can't go talk to that person, or I can't get up and talk in front of all of these people, because so and so is so much better at it, and that's not even it. Like, it doesn't matter that so and so is better at something. What matters is you are doing it for yourself, and in return, someone's going to be touched by it, and someone's going to take something from that. Whether it's, even if it's just a little post on your Facebook, whatever it may be, like, someone will take something from it, and it'll inspire them. When you lean towards joy, you will be led. I liked lean towards joy, you will be led. And give yourself grace out loud. And don't talk about it, just be about it. That one's always my favorite. And help people around you by showing up every day. Part of your joy, my joy, I know, is always helping others. So that kind of ties into that. Like, help people around you by showing up every day, and that will bring myself joy. A nice little quote in there that she said in the book was, "Joy is our right. What blocks our joy is our separation from love. And the way back to love begins with understanding how we disconnected in the first place." Is our birthright. Like, we get so caught up in fear of the world. Like, I mean, we're in it right now with like politics and stuff. Like, where is this world? Where is it going? What, we're scared of, like, what's going to happen when our kids go to school, or what's going to happen. It's, the world's just a crazy, wild place. And growing up, like, even us going into school, like, we're taught things in classrooms, like, no, you're not supposed to do this, or you have to stay away from this. And so, like, we're taught those fears as when we start going to school. And when we turn on the news, what do we see on the news? Like, it's rare that we see something positive or something good going on the news. It's car accidents, it's shootings, it's nasty politics, it's constantly, like, living in fear of what's going to happen. And basically, when we surrender to the power of the universe, we will always be guided to exactly what we need. And so I have a really crazy story to tell you guys, and you might think I'm crazy. It's crazy. But so yesterday I was in the kitchen. I had 4 little kids that I was watching, plus my 2 big kids that were home at the time. It's fall. Everyone's home. Everyone's at my house because I'm the one that watches all these kids, and literally all of the little kids were screaming. Like, it was a moment. I wanted to cry. And so I'm going in the kitchen to make a bottle for the screaming baby because the other ones can just scream. They're fine. And I'm standing there and I'm putting the bottle into the microwave. And I'm like, dear Lord, please give me a moment. Like, and it was instantly the weirdest freaking feeling, like an out of body experience. Like, everything got quieter. And it was like time froze for a moment while I made little screaming baby a bottle. I don't even know how to explain it, and my brother thinks I'm crazy for telling him about it. But literally, I said a moment, and it just got quiet. Like, they were still crying. I don't even know. It was so weird, and I'm like amped up from that because I think it's because I've been like in tune with I'm reading about all these things, and I'm thinking about all these things, and I have all this crap going on at home that I to like put out fire everywhere. And I got a moment. Like, it was so awesome. I was just like, holy crap, it really happened to me. It was so crazy. So don't think I'm loony. It was the universe. Yeah, that was wild. What else? I'm almost through all of my notes here. Whenever those nasty, not nice feelings take over and you get in that crappy mindset, if you say a little something to yourself and you say, thank you, universe, for helping me heal this. I forgive this thought, and I choose to see love in, because love is the way to joy and the way to happiness. So thank you, universe, for helping me heal this. Forgive this thought, and I choose to see love instead. I'm super guilty about crappy thoughts, so I like that. And energy goes where your attention goes. I fully believe that energy, your attention goes. If you are focused on some crap, the story that she gave in the book was pretty cool because she talked about this lady that this girl that was, or no, it was her. She was all caught up in getting this party invitation to a friend that they weren't really great of friends, and she thought that she wouldn't get invited, and she was stressing about it. And the time came for the invites to come out, and everyone got their email for the invite to this thing, but she didn't. And she was already stressing about it, and she was already like talking crap to her friends about it and to her husband about it. Invite, blah, 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 this and that, and her friend. And so she started talking to her friend about it, and she's like, and they're like, no, you're invited. Just text her, see what happened to your invite. So she texts her, and she's like, oh my God, yeah, I did check your spam mail because I have a new email. And it was something so simple she was like so amped up about, like all day, that was so silly, and it was a crazy thought that she put in her head, and that wasn't even the truth. That's not how it was. She got the invite. She was good to go. Like, everything was fine. And I do that a lot. I'll stress things and like, no, like that's not even, I don't know. I'm sure you guys all know what I'm talking about. Like, don't stress yourself out over things. I have. Anybody?
That was awesome.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, go.
That was amazing. I know none of us think crazy, because I think that since you're open to all of this, that all these other crazy things are just going to come to your life. And I think that's really cool because you were open to it. And I love that you shared everything. And it's like that word surrender and love and all these like key words just keep coming up. And it's like just working through like your trauma. And then, like you said, like then you have to work through it again, and just realizing that it's we're learning these things and learning to not let, like you were saying, like something like, I wasn't invited, I didn't get that email, or, like that person didn't message me back. Like sometimes we get all caught up in these things that are silly things. And it's like, I think the more we do this practice, the more we let go of those things and just really, really learn that surrendering. I just started reading it. I only the first chapter, but it's an amazing book.
I would like to say a few words.
I think you hit mute again.
Oops, okay. So I commend you, Ashley, for talking, like translating Gabby Bernstein, because it can be really hard to kind of talk about a topic like this unless you're extremely well versed. You did an amazing job, and so thank you so much for sharing this. I wish I would have been there if we wouldn't have been. So, but the line that you said that really got to me tonight is focus on what you're thriving in your life. You guys, I've been on this horrible downward spiral of thinking of all the things that are going wrong in my life, that are going wrong in my business, that are going wrong with my finances, everything. And what Gabby Bernstein teaches is it's like climbing a ladder. You're not going to go the very bottom of all those negative thoughts all straight up to the top. There's tiers. And so you just have to, climb up that ladder and think about what's the one, the thing that's the next step up from that negative thought. Like what's a tiny bit less negative, and go up that ladder. And so that line was just what I needed to hear tonight. So thank you so much, Ashley. I appreciate you so much. And by the way, I'm so, so proud of you, because when we met 2 years ago, almost, you have blossomed into an amazing person and really, truly one of my very good friends. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Ashley, I just want to jump in and say thank you for doing this call. It's exactly what I needed. It was a perfect flow, perfect end to my day. I wasn't writing anything down. I was going to active listen, but then you kept saying this great stuff. So I was like, oh my gosh. The first thing I wrote down that I starred that really hits home for me is surrendering isn't a one-time thing. It needs to happen daily. And it's funny that you talk about faith, God versus universe, not versus, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference. And I recently got into the faith aspect of it. Surrendering was huge for me in my story and my journey. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what to do. All that I knew was just to give it. I just gave it up. Just gave it up. So when stuff just goes, you just have to literally, like, oh my gosh. And I heard in a sermon that I listened to the other day. It was yesterday and today, because I'm repetition. I have to listen to things more than once. It was about asking God what your purpose is today. What do you want me to do today? How do you want me to reach into someone else's life? Instead of asking, bless me today. So surrendering to the universe, just surrender it, so yeah.
There was actually a lady during the Q&A, was like a breast cancer survivor. She was an older lady, and she had all these like hopes and dreams, and she was older. I think she was like 65 or something like that, and she was talking about like how do I get to my hopes and dreams, my goals, my high goals of things that I want in my life, but I have to work and I have to like be at my job. She was a nurse and did like triage calls or something or another. And she's like, I have to be there. Like they need me. And Gabby's like, that's you're telling yourself right there, they need me. You need to focus more on the good. And she talked about how like people always came to her desk and were always talking to her and always, like she's the problem solver basically for everyone. But she wasn't talking about it nicely. She's like, oh, these people come to me with their problems and this and that. And like Gabby like stopped her and was like, listen to yourself. Like you should be thankful that people are coming to you with their problems, and they trust you with their problems, and they want your opinion. And maybe you can't go and run off and do whatever you want to do in your life, but you should focus on helping those people that are coming to you. And so I just thought that was really cool, because we take all that for granted sometimes, and we're always just like, oh God, this girl's talking to me, and I don't want to talk to this girl, but they're coming to you because they trust you and that they care about your opinion, and you're a sounding board for them. And so just be there for people. Yeah, just be there.
That is so like on point, because I think a lot of times we get, as coaches, we get that like, I was just listening to a call from, I can't remember who I was listening to a call from, but talking about how she was doing all these free groups, and she had the same people go in her free groups over and over and over again. And somebody asked her, does that bother you? And she's like, no, it doesn't, because I'm here to help people, and they'll either come around or they won't. And it's true. Like, we can't get annoyed just because they didn't buy a challenge pack this week because we needed Hit Success Club. Like, a lot of people, it takes them a while to come around, 2 years or more. Like a lot of my coaches and a lot of my challengers, that happens. And that's just so true. So I'm so proud of you for doing this call by yourself, because I was supposed to do it with you, but I was like deathly ill. And I'm so sad that I didn't get to go. But I mean, from the first call you did to now, it's just amazing. So I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, everybody. It was fun. I was super excited for this.
Does anybody have anything else they want to add real quick, or any questions that they have? All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. We had 15 people on this call tonight. That's so awesome. I'm so proud of that. So let's keep it up, and we will see you next week, and see you all in the boards.